My name is Kelley Joe Brumfield, and I'm a painting and drawing major here at Southern Miss. I'm really inspired by the people that I'm surrounded by, especially my studio mates. We're all really close together all the time. We're always there, so we really get to know each other really well. Well, currently I'm about to draw a landscape, which is kind of a part of a series that I started working on last semester. What I do to start drawing, I'll tape off the edges of the drawing to kind of like secure the format. And then what I'll do is, if you might see me making like lines across the different pages, like from the different edges, and those lines, I kind of use those as guidelines to like tell me where, like a sweet spot in the format of the rectangle would be, like where to place something, where to place a form or something. I don't know, sometimes I'll start pasting a piece of paper somewhere or doing something really spontaneous with a charcoal or something, and then just seeing what it looks like and what it could become. I like to use different kinds of charcoal. There's all different kinds of charcoal. There's like a powdery crushed form of it, a graphite powder, and you can do all sorts of things. I like to dip the charcoal in the water, and it makes this really velvety look to it. Anything that I can get my hands on that can make some sort of grayscale pigment is what I like to use. Something that I've really become interested in as I've like started taking these upper level drawing courses is like the tactile sense of like working with paper and getting really messy and working into the paper. And it's like finding a form out of the paper. The paper is the drawing. And so I kind of found out that that can lend itself to looking sort of like a landscape. And so that's kind of how I started doing these. This semester I've kind of transitioned into working with still lives. I'm in painting 4 this semester, so painting 1 and 2 I painted still lives like bottles and fruit and flowers on tables, and then to me they're a lot more about color than being about what I'm painting. It's not about the flower or the bottle or anything like that, but it's about the 2 colors beside each other. My favorite brand of paints would have to be Williamsburg paints, and there's this specific blue, Williamsburg King's Blue, and it's just the most sexy color in the whole entire planet. I'm not even kidding. Basically, if you mix anything in the world with King's Blue, you can make the best colors ever. I prefer to use like a cool color palette. To start this semester, my paintings have kind of transitioned into like paintings that were more tight and more about like the shapes and more squared off, and then they've sort of turned into this kind of looser, kind of more relaxed way of painting. But I still I always like draw underneath the paintings before, and sometimes I like to leave the charcoal flowing through the paint, and it kind of acts as a pushing agent to push the colors together. When I graduate, I plan to be an art teacher, an elementary school art teacher. I love children, I love their spirit, and so I think that's the best way to capture the human spirit is through art, and I think that to experience that through children and see what they do and see how they look at life is something I'd really like to follow through with my entire life.